Hey, hey, hey. Did you miss me? Okay, family, welcome back. I'm not going to talk too much. Let's get it started.
And tell my kids no, then the answer is no. If my husband tell my kids yes, then the answer is yes. And if I do not agree with him saying yes or no, right? I will never ever in my life correct it in front of them. I will not. I will ask him to talk to him in the back separately apart from my kids. I will correct it later or something else. See, that is the problem that we're having. Y'all are having. You feel as though you could go toe to toe with your man in person in front of those kids. And baby, let me tell you, you are doing more damage than you even know. You are showing your kids, for one, you're demasculating him. You're not showing them that he is a role, that he is the head. Y'all are a partnership, don't get me wrong, lock and key. But he is the provider. He is the head of this household. I remember one time specifically, my daughter tried to come to me complaining about my husband. Now keep in mind, I said my husband. And you know what I told her? Hold on. Maybe we should call daddy in here so you can talk to daddy about this as well. Because I'm
Absolutely.
showing her we are a team, Bookie Bud.
That's
And if you
right.
have a problem with him, you got a problem with me. And
Okay.
that is a problem a lot of kids grew up doing, pinning their parents against each other. Well, daddy said yeah. Well, mommy said no. If he said no for smack, that means no, you gonna wait. And if I don't agree with that, I can politely, privately tell him that. Have a great day. If my husband
Okay. Okay. I agree with that. What do you think? Do you think that if your child comes to you, mom, and said that dad said, no, I can't do XYZ, do you go out and then now confront the father as to why he told the child that he can't? Or husbands, do you do that to your wives? Do you agree that you should not have those kind of conversations in front of your kids and you should stand as a united front? I have a whole lot to say about it, but I want to show what some of these comments said. Let's see. No disrespect, ma'am, but if you're paying half the bill, Lord have mercy. Here they go with that. If you're paying half the bills, your husband is no leader, and he is certainly no head of the household, and he is no provider. With that said, I would hope you would tell a husband not to correct their wife in front of their children. See, it goes two ways, my dear. You got a lot to learn. And I can guarantee you that that person ain't even married. So let's look at that again. So if I contribute, so based on this logic, if I contribute to any of the bills in the house, whether it's half, whether it's 70%, whether it's 80%, whatever, if I contribute to any bills of this house, that means my husband is not the leader. Do you say that at work? Because nine times out of 10, we do more work than our managers do. So does that make them not the managers at work because we do more of the labor? And what does leadership have to do with being a sole provider? You don't have to be a sole provider to be a leader. And I don't know where they get this from. I have no clue who told them that in order for a man to be a leader, he has to do every single thing in the house. Now, I know that a lot of women like to quote scripture. And in the Bible, God said that you need to be a leader. And in actuality, they have totally taken that out of context as well. Now, I don't know if they have ever read Proverbs 31. And the Proverbs 31 woman, it says that she gets up early in the morning before her family gets up. She goes into town and she sells and does whatever she needs to, brings that money home, goes back to the house, takes care of her husband and her children and get them ready for the day. She contributes to the household, and it said that she is the crown of her husband that does that. So I really, really need to know we're at in scripture, does it say that a man has to be a sole provider in order to be a leader? And so she just wanted, Beth here just wanted to get hers off, because after she says that he's not a leader and all of this other stuff, and she wants that woman to tell her husband not to correct her in front of their children. What does that got to do with anything? This is what aggravates me about women, is that when somebody is saying something that is not in alignment with the rhetoric that they talk about and speak about, all of a sudden they will find a way to flip it onto a man. What does this have to do with her? Why does she got to go tell her husband not to correct her in front of the children? But that's not even what the topic of conversation was about. So I don't even know what Beth is talking about. And I guarantee you, Beth ain't married. Okay, let's see what another one says. Toe to toe. Having a healthy dialogue in front of your children is a great way to teach them how to handle disagreements. Y'all are a united front, but it doesn't mean you can't disagree with the subject and not express that in front of the children. Leader or not, children need to see healthy discourse between their parents so they know what is healthy and how to navigate uncomfortable conversations. She's associating difference of opinion with something negative, and that's not necessarily true. First of all, she's not confusing or associating a difference of opinion with anything. She said, when my husband makes a statement, that's that. So where is this difference of opinion that you talking about, Jada? And again, I bet you that she don't have no husband. She probably don't even have a man, right? So now let's start from the beginning. Toe to toe. Yes. See, women think that going toe to toe only means yelling and screaming. No, toe to toe means being disagreeable in any fashion or form, whether you're hollering or whether you singing it in a song or whether you texting it to them that I'm not doing this and I don't agree or whatever. That's what toe to toe means. Second of all, children need to be in children's places. What a mother and a father discusses is not the business of the child. Okay, so if you want to teach your children how to handle disagreements, that is when you teach them when they're arguing with their brothers and sisters or their cousins or a friend or whatever. That is the teaching moment there for them to be taught how to handle disagreements, not between mommy and daddy at all. Because what you fail to realize, Jada 1327, is that when children love their parents, right? Majority of the time, the children love both parents, right? And so now you're having a disagreement in front of the kid about the kid, you thinking that it's going to be a positive thing, but now the child is feeling like mommy and daddy are fighting because of me. Now, not only will that child have guilt, but that child will also now have to pick sides. I love my mom and I love my dad, but now I have to pick sides. So you are putting your child in a very uncomfortable situation. Okay. And so, leader or not, let's get to that. Leader or not, you need to see healthy discourse between their parents. Why? Why? Why do they need to see any discourse in front of between their parents? Just please tell me that. My husband and I, God bless the dead, we never ever argued when my kids were around, ever. And I did not yell, scream, cuss him out, or go toe to toe with him either, whether they were home or not. But we never wanted the kids to see us not aligned and not in sync. Because again, when they get married and they go out on their way, and I have been battling for my kids and going against my husband and him going against me, and now we got an empty nest and it's just us, and we've been fighting all of these years over the kids. Absolutely not. You are supposed to be a united front. I don't know where, like what your parents did or what you saw, but that's not a healthy thing to do. Let's see. Let's see what somebody else said. She's saying two different things. First one I agree with, which I don't even know what she's talking about. Second one, hell no. Kids need to know or at least believe they could come to you about whoever in confidence. I do agree with that, but it doesn't mean that you're coming to me saying, Daddy said I can't spend the night at my friend's house. That's different than Daddy is being inappropriate, or mommy is being inappropriate, or they hurt me when you're not around. That's totally different. Coming in confidence to me to snitch on your dad because your father said that you cannot do something that you want to do. Come on now, they call me tweet. You got to do better than that. And again, bet you she don't have no man. Okay. You notice this is all these are all women, right? That's saying this. Women hate to see women in alignment with men. It irritates their demon. They cannot handle this, which I don't understand why it bothers them so much. Okay, you're not teaching emotional intelligence or how to communicate properly. Children need to learn how to resolve issues correctly. If you can't simply communicate without arguing, then you're both part of the problem. I wouldn't go against his decision, but why not have a discussion so the kids can understand what's going on? Because it ain't none of their business. And when I go in the room and ask him why, then he will tell me. I am quite sure my husband gave an explanation as to why he said whatever it was he said. They do not need me to reiterate that. They do not need me to be a translator for them. They know their father. They understand their father. So again, you teach your children how to resolve issues when it comes to other children, or if I mean, come on. Not with your husband and you are not the example of that. You are the example of unity, love, support. This is what you're going to be teaching them when they get married and see that this is how I need to be. Not to question whenever my spouse tells my child something. Now I got to question it when I'm more than 100% sure they already told them why or why not. Stop it. And so now, Sky Christina. So women can't show their children they can stand up for themselves. I didn't even want to see all the rest of it. No, you don't stand up for yourself like that in front of your kids to your husband. Is he beating her? Is he cursing her out? Is he disrespecting? So you call not going against your husband's decision, not standing up for yourself? Who raised these women, and what examples or lack of did they have in their life? You cannot make this stuff up. You cannot. Like, this is my first day back, and they getting, oh, I did do the whole thing. Here it goes. Look. So women cannot show their kids they can stand up for themselves. I don't think you realize how much that will affect the girls and the boys mentally. They need to learn from their parents how to talk through things and compromise too. But if it's only the man is if it's only the man is the leader, I feel sorry for them kids. When people say leaders, what do you think of? Are you thinking that women are in shackles and in chains and on leashes and not able to even give any input? Let me just give you some insight, Sky Christina, from a married woman. You are your husband's advisor. You are his counsel. You are sometimes his conscience when he's just too rough. You're all of these things, right? He comes to you if you chosen correctly and have married a good righteous man, then he will respect your opinion and he will seek your guidance without you trying to just dominate the conversation or put your will off on him. Like, you don't have to do that. Did you ever hear the term you get more bees with honey? Absolutely. Absolutely. You don't have to yell, scream, or anything. He will run things past you. And then when you heard her, she said, I talked to my man about it, but I talked to him in private. And then, if in that conversation in private, she was able to get her husband to see something from a different perspective, then the husband will go back and say, your mother and I had a conversation, and this is what can happen now. You can go ahead and do it, or whatever. Right? So, why do you feel that everything needs to be addressed right there, right in the moment? High energy, high emotions. Why? And why would you feel sorry if the man is the leader? Who, who raised you? Just your mom? And if so, I can definitely tell why you said what you said. I can definitely tell that you're not married. And if you are married, you will not be married long, or you will not have a happy marriage. I can tell you're not in a long-term relationship with anybody, because I want to know how that affects the girls and the boys mentally, because the mother is respecting her husband. And what I also want to know is, how is it that women can, um with any other authority figure, women will comply. They comply with their white bosses at work. They comply with the police. They comply with whoever. Women will comply with any and every other man that is walking around, except their husband or their man. Why is that? Why is that? That is an honest to goodness question that I want the answer to. Why do women find it so hard to be agreeable with their husbands? Right? And they can hate their boss, but they won't say anything to their bosses. They won't curse them out. They won't do any of that stuff. But with your husband, the one who loves you and who protects you, who you had children with, you feel sorry if he's the leader? I don't understand that. And I'm quite sure a lot of you guys don't understand it either. But so, if anybody can give me some answers as to my main question is, why do women find it so easy to respect any other authority in their lives except their husbands? Let's get the conversation going. Thank you guys. I will see you tomorrow. Love ya. Bye.